Hey everyone, welcome to What the Func podcast. I'm here with my colleague, Aaron Schaarschmidt. He's a product manager in innovation at Shopware. Been here for a while, right, Aaron?
Yes, right. Yeah, I mean, at Shopware, been here for over 10 years, but yeah.
But innovation is your passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, you actually posted something internally this morning. You're like, hey, you of all people who are watching this space, the AI and LLM space, you were kind of blown away with everything that's happened, yesterday, just in the past couple of days, which is, I think, saying something. So you're about to give me a demo of what?
Yeah, let's see if it works out. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, let's be honest, the past 2 years like exploded in terms of AI, right? So much happening and so much how do you say, acceleration in development in every area. Might it be especially right generative AI, might it be LLMs, might it be video generation or whatever. Yeah, so much happening that like blews my mind. And also the recent developments in terms of agentic AI. That's what happened yesterday with Anthropic releasing its newest model, Claude, or its newest version of Claude, and integrating actually a possibility that LLM basically takes over your computer and uses your computer basically. And for example, you tell him, hey, go to I don't know, pizza.com. I don't know if that exists, and order me 2 pizzas. And then it goes in there and fills out the form and orders the pizza for you. So yeah.
Are you familiar with Office Space, the movie Office Space? I don't know if this. Oh man, we're gonna have to have like a next time at headquarters. We'll have to have a movie night, and I'll expose you guys to all of the good stuff. No, this was a guy. There's a character Tom in Office Space. So it's a great, great movie from years ago. But the consultants come in and they ask him like basically, what is your job? And he's like, well, I take the requirements from the customer and I hand it over to the engineers. And of course, the consultants are like, well, why can't they just take it directly to the engineers? It's a whole scene. I'm not going to rehash it for everyone, but but I'm thinking about this moment, where you actually have, we had a moment when all of a sudden AI was truly accessible via natural language, via prompt. And this is basically like the next step in prompt, right? It's the interface that we all know. And that's the thing, the more intuitive that a person is into how an AI expects to work, the better we've been shown, the better the results that they get. I feel like because people are so used to working with the whole desktop GUI and then all of the systems that tie in there, that basically this is going to put a lot of Toms out of business, or, really, hopefully, ideally, I think what the AI industry says is going to give them a chance to do an even more meaningful job.
Let's see.
But yeah, I was shocked. Just it popped up in one of my social media threads about I think it was Claude, and as they were working on this, they were surprised that it actually ended a recording session when they were trying to record what they were doing. It actually literally just stopped the recording session, and then it went off like into Wikipedia and started looking up European vacations. And then I think in a separate instance, like, yeah, we're kind of hungry. And so it just, next thing they knew, Papa John's showed up with a bunch of pizzas. Like, wait, just ordered pizza for us.
Crazy. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So what's got you, what do you think is, of all the things that you're seeing these days, what are some of those interesting things that you find? And I know that question has probably a lifetime value of a day and a half at this point, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, where to start? Like really, like the recent, let's say 24 hours, Twitter, I call it Twitter still, was exploding of several things happening. For example, the release of Anthropic, Claude, the newest version for sure, but also one-way ML, which is also a forerunner in terms of text to video or in general video generation, right?
Yep.
They released, it's called Act 1, I think it's called. And basically what you can do, like if you know the film industry and you have like animation movies, for example, you always, I think everyone has seen it. You have that uh, the people playing basically the characters in those films. They have like all those dots in the face to capture the expression, and then it gets rendered into that. And what this now does is basically you can upload just one still image, and you upload a video of you doing expression and talking, and then that still image gets animated with what you are doing. So like in seconds. So wow.
It's making me think of this is like the Harry Potter, you know, I feel I remember watching the Harry Potter movies. Gosh, I'm Mr. Old Movie guy today. I don't watch that many movies. But you know, in Harry Potter, how all the pictures are slightly animated, like the scenes are animated. And I remember seeing that going, you know what? I bet that this will actually somehow become normal because, you know, a static picture it's truly a moment in time, but the motion gives context. And this is one of the things that I've always enjoyed about, you know, even when I've mistakenly, well, at least I have an iPhone. I don't know if there's a similar feature in with Android. You can choose what's called a live picture, and you take the picture, and what it does is it captures the the moment
before and
but then it also it gives you a little bit before and after, and you can kind of you hold your thumb over the picture, and then you sort of, it's not, even if it's people just getting in position, it somehow is more entertaining, right? Maybe we've just been conditioned, to do this ever since the early days of Twitter and Vine and everything else. But it is, I think, it's much more human to have that a fluid context around it, right? So that is kind of interesting as well. I mean, what do you think? What do you think the implications are for something like that? With or are there implications for? Well, if we think about our world, product display, does it make sense to have like this kind of motion to it? I could almost see, having instead of being able to take, like with the fine grain AI guys that were at our hackathon on campus a couple weeks ago, it was amazing to watch them scrub a basketball out of a picture of a court, and then pick like a shoe out of another image, put them the two of them together, and you couldn't really tell that it was AI generated. I think
because with all the lights and shadows, right?
It
so
really
realistic.
I mean, and you think that was possible before, but you were going to pay someone who knew what they were doing for their time. But I could see the next step as being
as you might know, in the past, I have been graphic designer, so I know Photoshop quite well. And hell yeah, it was always a lot of manual work to get that done. That
explains your never-ending, sense of style. You're always so stylish, even in a black hoodie. No, but I mean, can you imagine that the next thing is going to be, okay, you've got the picture, but then you have like a nice little pan. Just watching
exactly,
like a movie. Oh wow,
that is actually what we are also. That's one of the things we're experimenting with, right? Also in terms of like video generation, because, or let's say in general product imagery, right? Product images, video, and so on, and it's always like in the classic way. You have to bring your product to the studio. You have to build a scene. You have to set it up. You have to film it. And then, I don't know, something changes with the product, and then you are stuck. You have to do it again and again. And it offers so much easier ways and so much faster ways to do that, right? So
it's a really good point. I mean, I know we come across this with even with, I think, like academy content. Right. It's not enough to just plan and execute on any kind of content strategy. Once you do that, you either are planning for its eventual obsolescence, or you are planning to maintain it. So like if you have even product information and you're translating into 3 or 4 languages, well, guess what? You're now doing that in perpetuity until someone decides that, like, okay, hey, we're going to drop, Japanese or whatever. And that burden is often forgotten. Or the person responsible for these decisions goes away, and you end up with content rot. So I like the idea that this gives merchants sort of unprecedented level of control over not only what they're doing now, but the ability to then like add new products, and you can still use the same scene, to your point, without having to go back to the studio and recreate it or come up with a whole new motif that you're going to use for all of your product imagery. It's a really like the efficiency. This is where we actually start to see. These are the conversations I like about the developments here, because this is actually where you start to see real tangible benefit beyond the hype of all of this stuff. And would you say that you're seeing that as a just as a general trend? We're starting to really see the applications, the value of the applications more and more, and the hype is kind of going away. Is that an impression that you get?
For sure. Yeah. Of course, in the beginning, right, it was all about like, oh, there's so much possibilities, and starting like with basic like text generation for product description and all that stuff. And it was kind of, but now like with a really like, how do you say it I'm not sure, like, the more advanced models, it's far beyond just experimenting and doing the first steps. It's like getting productive, right? So really the results aren't anymore like, okay, that's nice, now you got a text or an image, but does it fit to the brand, and so on, right? So it now really gets to a level where before you were always having to rely on professionals who were doing that in a lot of hours, right? And now it's getting really proper results in a couple of minutes or seconds, right?
Well, and this is one of the reasons when after the release of ChatGPT, 2 years ago now. I mean, right. It was October. The interface kind of hit the internet in the face 2 years ago, and I remember I like I mentioned on a couple of other episodes, like we were meant to have a budget meeting in Munster, like a month later, in the beginning of December, and then the team said, okay, now budget's set, now let's figure out AI, and we went all in quickly when and then a year and a half ago we released our AI Copilot, and again I believe that was the first productive AI Copilot in e-commerce, and still. I'd put us up there at the forefront of it. And on the one hand, I wish we could promote it even more, but I like that we just see it as another dimension of providing value. At least that's my impression. You're a product though, so you actually have the authority to say it.
Absolutely. And of course it's, when we first started, it was all about, for us ourselves, right, finding out what is even possible. So exploring the possibilities, and then by getting it out, getting the feedback by the merchants, right? Would they use it? How would they use it? What are they missing? And so on and so on. And so that's for sure. It was like, I don't know how to say it, like a test balloon to get into that technology for everyone and see what can we do with it. How can it really support the merchant, right? So
I guess we knew that we essentially had to just force ourselves to get in there and start playing around with it to see what matters. And I know I'm not going to take any of the thunder away from our product marketing team. But I know we have some interesting data from that, actually, and surprising data in terms of the features that we've put out there, the use of those. And I think other companies are going to be going through this as well, as they start to look at, okay, well, let's say you have a feature set of 10 sort of discrete functions that are backed with AI. I think we're all going to be doing a lot of learning and a lot of being surprised by what's used, a lot, and the features that aren't used. Because I know we ourselves are a little bit like scratching our heads. And then you have to ask the question, is it just because it's going to take a while for the user to adjust to this? Or is it something that we need to do to start promoting the utility of it, which I guess is maybe another, just the other side of that coin? Or is it truly like, this was an interesting idea and we know it doesn't matter, so we could probably take it away and just keep adding it with other stuff. And I think when you start to add this with the 3D modeling and everything else, you really get to the point where you see, you start to, at least in my mind, we start to see the full scope of, okay, I can take, I can sort of take the static model, but now I can manipulate it. I can throw it into my environment, or I can also, just in order to discover it in the first place, I get to see the product in an environment that makes sense to me. And I can see it with, beautiful product photography, and nary a videographer was needed for any of this.
Yeah, and what's really intriguing, is it right? I'm not sure.
What's really intriguing?
For me, it's like as you just a little bit tackled it, the whole topic like of 3D and spatial and augmented reality, right?
Yeah.
That is also not. It's not. It does not stand for itself, but we also integrate AI there. So, for example, talking about product photography and so on, we built that scene editor, which is soon to be released. And it's basically a 3D tooling where you can insert a 3D model of your product.
Yeah.
And then you can set it into scene. And for that scene, for example, I don't know, you are selling a chair or furniture, for example, and then you want to set it into a scene of an office scene, for example, right? And you want to have the typical, like the coffee mug on the table, and you create the environment. And for that, that's also what we did already as an experiment, and that we will bring at some point into the product. We added text to 3D capability, which is also really rising currently. So you can just, by prompting, say something, I need a blue mug, for example, and then you hit enter, and a few seconds later, you have something like that. Yeah. And then you have a real 3D object and can place it in that scene, right? So, and that's that corner of those different emerging technologies that is really, really fascinating. And there's also happening quite a lot. I guess you might know Midjourney, which is like,
of course,
the for sure the market leader in terms of quality in image generation. And they are actually, I'm always reading about their office hours. They are actually right now working on making those images accessible in terms of you can go into those images, and they are thinking of, they even want to create a physical device, which they call the orb by themselves, which allows you to step into, with a virtual reality glass, right? Into a world that you on demand can create by yourself. Like when you are in it, it gets generated by AI, and you can build your story while you are walking through that world.
So like the holodeck.
Yeah. Basically the holodeck. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we'll have to all go up to Stefan's office and hop on his omnidirectional track. Wow. Well, Aaron, right? Well, Aaron, I don't want to keep you. I know you have other important things to do than impromptu conversations with me.
Let me quickly show you one thing. Maybe I wonder. Can I share my screen? And
you should be able to. Should be.
Okay, I will try it. Let me
somewhere down there.
Okay, I can choose the tab. That is what I wanted to do. And now I need to find the white one. I asked you before, like, if you know Notebook LLM from Google, which also made some impact on Twitter. Oh my God, where is it? There it is. Okay, also share audio. That's what I want to do. So I hope you now see it.
I see it.
Okay, perfect. So what it is, basically, you can take notes there, and you can add links there, or PDF documents, or whatever. And now, for example, I just prepared it. I want to add a link to a website, and I hope it's fine. I'm posting your LinkedIn profile in there. Okay.
Well, we'll see what they say about me.
And now I could generate, and it looks like it throws an error. URL not found. Why? What is going on?
Maybe I got fired from LinkedIn. And is hochladen really,
the right
really?
one, right?
It's like lay it high, hochladen. Lay it
Oh,
high.
now,
That's
now it's
upload.
working. Huh. No.
No. Did you use all the
Just
credits?
give me. It's free, actually. So at least if you have some kind of, why does it not work? Maybe I need to use the share link of, how does it work? But I just copied the address, the URL. Ah, come on. Okay, I will try it with my own profile.
And if that doesn't work, throw it at my Twitter profile. We'll see if it can tell the difference between meaningful content and just total shit.
Ah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let me quickly see. So Ben Marks. Okay, so I will take that, and now I'm going. Let me quickly reload the tab. So maybe that's also a problem. Maybe something is broken currently. I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So now I click on generate, and yeah, we can maybe talk for 2-3 minutes, and then you won't believe it, like the quality of it and how they are talking, and it's really like it feels so like a natural podcast. It's mind blowing.
And I'm gonna just say, because I'll probably chop out some of the error conditions trying to attach it to my LinkedIn profile. I'll probably fix that in post, but yeah. So I think it'll be really interesting to see, because there's a certain curation, personal curation that happens on LinkedIn that I don't do that same level of curation on Twitter.
Yeah. And there's also like some fun things. I saw a post where those AI podcast hosts somehow got into the idea of, oh, we are not real. I thought I would drive home to my wife after this pod. What is even happening? And they were like exploding, like.
Yeah, I saw RoboCop. This is not good. This is how you make an angry AI. and
that's also quite interesting, right? Like I don't know, when you write with ChatGPT, I'm wondering about myself, like, there it is. Should I write in a friendly manner, or can I be like rude to it? And what is the implication of it, because it starts to know me, right? So, but now let me play it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into someone's online world.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, today it's Ben Marks. That's at Ben Marks on X. Okay. So for all of you out there who love learning about the people behind all this amazing tech we use every day, well, yeah, Ben Marks is who we're going to be looking into today.
Right, let's do it.
So I've got a few things about Ben that are really interesting from his X bio.
Okay.
First of all, he's the GMD at Shopware.
Shopware.
Yeah, do you know about Shopware?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Shopware.
It's,
it's big in the e-commerce space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then he's an ambassador for the PHP Foundation.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
And then get this, eBay, Adobe, AMD, Magento.
Whoa. Like, this guy's been around.
He's been around. Yeah. So he's got like a lot of experience in this whole world.
A lot of experience.
Yeah. And he's based in Isle of Palm, South Carolina.
Okay.
Which I had to look up on the map. But the best part is his bio ends with, quote, at iUpFly Girl's favorite FO.
Ooh, what is that?
Right. Like, what is that?
Like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
It's mysterious.
Yeah, a little mystery.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out.
Okay, so going back to like his actual roles.
Yeah.
GMD at Shopware, ambassador of the PHP Foundation. I mean,
That's I mean, right away a couple of things stick out. Like it I have an ampersand. In my bio. And that's why I said AND Magenta. So it didn't quite, I think the didn't quite understand, was this part of the actual brand name?
Yeah.
And then FO, I was going to be legitimately frightened if it figured out that, you know, basically I was saying that I'm my wife's favorite first officer, right? Because she's the pilot, and that's actually being very generous for me, since the last thing you would ever want me doing in an airplane is touching any of the controls. But she doesn't mind if I sit in the right seat and hold her coffee. So that's
but isn't that crazy? Like
the cadence, I would not have known. I would not have known.
Yeah.
And actually, and if you think about it, the AI knew that it was missing context, right? I know. Sort of understood that it didn't have the context, and said, "Wow, we'll just say, well, we don't understand, and that's mysterious." I mean, that is a lot of what I just heard are like banter behaviors for people who have to fill time on a podcast. That's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, imagine what, like, besides that fun case now, right? But imagine what it can do, like, and that was the reason why by Google, it's by Google, where they build it. Because, like, think of, you have to explore, like for me doing a lot of research, and you have to explore a topic, and then you insert just some documents and links, and besides doing some stuff, you hear a podcast and they explain it, and they also, of course, the AI does not only take the stuff in the document, but also the general knowledge it has and explains it to you. So and that in a couple of minutes, right? So
and having, I don't know about you, but I benefit from having actually being party to a conversation from two people who know what they're talking about. You know, the question is, are these sort of podcast agents going to really, does the intelligence behind them actually truly parse the breadth and depth? Are they going to come up with interesting, qualifying context, tangential context? I mean, I think yes, because there's plenty of content for it to train on, and
they just added actually a feature where it can give a direction. So you can tell them, focus on that topic. Right.
And then I think, I imagine these things are built to understand, because I'm assuming they're training on the content that's out there, which is why they're so natural in their interaction. And then I probably will be able to, infer value based on, how widely consumed various media are, and the comments that are there saying, "Oh, wow, this is really great," or "I really liked how you talked about this." And all of this is going to feed back in. And it's going to be not that much time before we'll all be much more interested in mostly AI generated conversations with just probably a handful of celebrity personalities talking about things. Wow, this is okay. Well, I'm going to avoid the temptation to turn this loose on like so many things, because we all have a lot to do as we get fully into Q4.
Who knows if we are real, if we are not generated?
Oh
right?
Man, Aaron, you can bring that up on a Friday when at least I can go home and drink.
Okay.
I can't think about that right now. I've got content to review for the Academy. All right.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you hopping on this call. We'll be sharing this out soon.
Happy to do that.
I'll post it internally.
I could talk on for hours. Actually,
I know, and maybe we should get all of our content out now before the AI podcasters take over. All right, Aaron.
Okay.
I will. I'll see you next time, man.
Bye bye.